It forward with the Boston Celtics as well, though. Obviously eliminated from the playoffs after losing to those Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals, becoming the sixth straight defending champion eliminated before the conference finals. The NBA has not had a repeat champion since the Warriors in 2017 and 2018. So, SA, obviously a lot of parity in the NBA. Do you like the absence of a lack of dynasties in the NBA right now?
It doesn't bother me. And even though I'm one of those guys, I grew up a diehard Yankees fan. It was the Yankees and the Knicks, right? I don't know what the hell happened with me with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first football play I ever saw was the Immaculate Reception by Franco Harris. And so because of that, I was a Steeler fan from the time I was a kid. That's why I was never a New York football fan. But in basketball and baseball, it's Knicks and Yankees all day, every day. Having said all of that, knowing that the Yankees were once those giants or whatever, I would tell you I would feel that way if we had a bunch, I don't want to say no names, but just, the guys that you just look at, you respected them, but none of them were box office. But when you got a cat like Ant-Man potentially getting to the NBA Finals, that changes it because that's the new blood you want to see. And so even though he said he wasn't interested in being a face, here's the bottom line. His game doesn't tell us that. His attitude on the basketball court doesn't tell us that.
True.
The combination of the two forces us to say we don't give a damn whether you want it or not. You gonna have it if you deliver because his game is that special. And the attitude, looking at cats, talking to them while he's busting there, you living, you know what. This is what we're talking about here. He brings that element. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is spectacular. I have said it from the beginning. I voted for him for MVP last year. I voted for him for MVP this year. And I believe this year he gets it. But he is like Marcus, Janae. He's like silky smooth, Like I call him the modern day upgraded version of George Gervin, the Iceman himself. This brother, Shai Gilgeous, got that kind of swag and attitude, but in the same breath is mellow. But you know what? When you box office, there's only one person who's allowed to be mellow, and that was Carmelo. That was it. Everybody else, we don't want the mellow. We want that swag that Ant-Man brings to the table. And that's why I don't have a problem with the absence of the quote-unquote dynasty. New blood is coming, and I don't mind.
And it's cool because you've got a little bit of fire and ice, and Edwards with the fire, ice, cool, calm, collected SGA. But when I think about the lack of dynasties, I don't have an issue with it because we're witnessing maybe the end of I know that for sure, generation of hoopers. KD, Steph, LeBron, they're trying to hold on and milk the most out of their prime. And what happens in that time? You see the proliferation of many young stars like Ant-Man, like SGA, like what we're seeing if Victor Wembanyama was able to remain healthy for the rest of the year. There's so many players, Paolo Banchero, Cade Cunningham, they're coming, and they can still take down teams that we've seen over the course of regular season. So I have no issue with more parity.
I agree 100%. I think the young guys just got the ball right now. Like, they're stepping up to the plate, and I got to go with SA. Like, I'm a big fan of Ant-Man. Like, I think he's the face of the game. You still got guys like Jason Tatum, he's going to come back from his injury. But the way that Ant-Man is so confident and just aggressive and just nonstop talking just in your face, like, that's what I like. I like that old school mentality that want the matchup, asking for the matchup, and going to tell you, I'm going to bust your when we come out here, and it's going to be a back-and-forth game. Like, I love that. I think that's great for the game. And then you got SGA where it's not a lot of talking. It's just a bunch of game. He's created a lane for himself. He has a young team. He was able to carry them and make them the best team in the NBA this year. So that dynamic is going to be like a sight to see that come in the future, right? But Ant Edwards, to me, Ant Edwards is the face.
That Western Conference Final is going to be a lot of fun. Stephen A., you're covering that, right?
Yes, I am. We have to go out there. I have to travel there today. Let me say this real quick. There's something very important that Ant-Man is bringing to the table
and then
that old school needs to embrace. I know we got to roll. We usually abhor the friendliness, and we want the volatility. We want to know that you can't stand the enemy and stuff like that. He's changing that, Molly, and the rest of y'all, because here's why. He's good friends, whether it's Steph, it's LeBron, it's anybody. KD in them, he's got love for these cats, except for when he's on the court against them. And we don't mind because we see how he goes at them. So we don't mind the affection that he shows for them before and after the game, because for those 48 minutes or more, he goes at them.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. The city, yeah, I'm a